You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how you respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is the day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient that you just learned about. I wish I saw what that said, but I don't think it said anything. You just learned about blank. In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal. But if the recipe is secret, how will they know? Excuse me? Excuse me? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding on to a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It is meticulous. He takes Colonel Sanders' food and takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds. That is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Let's flatter him. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school, after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Ah, jeez. Oof. Huh, that kind of looks like a KFC box. Or maybe I don't know. It's been a while since I've had KFC. Where have you been? Why are you in my house? Because I had one heck of a night. I have been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something may have happened to you. It's okay, but now that it turned out that you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I have been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure. And I can get to know a little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. She just stay skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker. And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story. However, bottling up details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' home where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection, oh wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from the distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, he's Pop. What's the swirly? Sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dip, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school. There's a horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare to pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Clementine, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's hand mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Don't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well give up. I'll never give up, ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to a boiling over. In a naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Clementine, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Are you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing, complimenting her? What about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say that it was bland. Excuse me, Clementine. I am more capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine arts of fine foods. See you inside, Clementine. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk beside the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by the interaction with Ashley, you take out a spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's that book. It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of Kiramori, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A Kiramori, like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magical book if it weren't really powerful? Cosplayers. I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open a page covered with arcane warnings, cast only in case of an extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell that says it'll erase anyone I choose from all memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus a bit better on my upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic, maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you. A pretty good excuse to try it out. Don't do it. Take your friend's advice and put away the book. It's almost time for class after all. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know that I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. Yo, who is that guy? Who is this? Who is this man? His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give to him as a snack. Reach into your backpack and grab some homework from the last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles on the sheet of paper like a fresh chicken rawhide. Ahem. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfied and like ungraded work. My, Clementine, were you studying something with cinnamon? I have been sitting on a lecture series about art of cake baking. How insightful. It actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Clementine, for reminding me to doll out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, but before you can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the classroom. Sprinkles is interrupted by words and sparks coming from the back of the room before. I told you to save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown off a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. Or But no, you had to show off to your cool kid friends, Jeff and Joan, J and J forever. Watch us form a triangle mid-air as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzz, bzz. Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. B. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the caps of his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. B. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that. Clank. What? That is a shoe. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker, considering that he himself wheels, not feet. It is not entirely clear where it came from. Watch this, it's like the student shoe. In terms of deep friend footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly whirs out of the room to be alone with the shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there is a very beautiful soul in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane of Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe, sort of, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for the both of us, and whoever else we want to bring along the way. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make some very special soup. And I bet the Professor Dog is going to love it up. While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea how to spend your time before the exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. A chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man, and the eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, Clementine's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven, but as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Clementine, what are you doing here? There's still some time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success, so I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie had begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick with when the oven timer goes off behind you. Fess up about your practice dish. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. It's an oddly specific distance, but you expected nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You know it was just a pot pie from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie, with an all butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? Haha, no, I can smell that it was made with a heaping help of TLC, but it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country fried cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Commence the rock music. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that will push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are preparing a wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her great magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She is definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, that he'll keep trying to find a way to improve on something perfect, his original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with the frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend, bastard, faster! Van flexes his pectoral as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid! Ashley scoops up her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula! Even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique! Wait, did Clank learn to speak English? It's a singularity, as was foretold. You mustn't let it happen, or the you mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out of the back into the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley had her spell book out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, but you're desperate to not see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? Do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win over your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Clementine. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Clementine, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station, cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. Oh, no. However, she doesn't know that you lied about it, and this ingredient was made up. Where in the world did she get that hive newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begins to swirl in the air, bubbling into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve, the spork monster. Steve, wait, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? These spork monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I guess. I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spark Monster notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical elements and accidentally summon meat, huh? Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing me some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know what, when I was just a little spork pup back in my old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that in Monster School, that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up, he tossed a serious stare at Steve, but he takes a hit. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered through this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. You summon extra power from deep within yourself. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. Man, the power's over 9,000. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing for their entire lives for. Yes, Clementine, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing for their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground, energy courses through your body. You know what? With all this power, you can do anything except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you're powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, Clementine. You have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I have been watching you here today, and I must say I am truly impressed, even thinking on your feet, rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I am here to help. After all, you managed is to make mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you have ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass the individual's efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces, we can form a perfect food union? Time's up, students. The time expired. It's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dish. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop, blank. Far off screen, you hear a pure innocent giggle that can only come from one student. Hee hee, I'm flying. It sounds like it's coming from the broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broomstick hook by the elastic of his underwear. Oh, Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank UCLA. Or UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks? Plank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature word beep or another onomatopoeia, but there is none. Somewhere he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. After days of hard work, time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now, describe your dish. I've made a tender noodles in a savory soup. It's little tiny ramen with tiny teeth. My word, is so delicate. A teeny tiny narutomaki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl. Yes, chef. Please, call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs the dish before opening his mouth, and just the tip of his pink dog tongue dips into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Ah, come on, I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. In a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much time, but it was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I ever taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed, so she gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Clementine, for helping me believe in myself. Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard and axe-hewn urchin shell topped with caviar. Did you skew one top of an urchin with spines from a second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close enough on the account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof, woof. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Brrr. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles and reels back at his tongue, poking and prodding. Ouch! My tongue! Professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gently into the night. Disqualified for glamour. Don't discount simplicity. This isn't the last you've heard of me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know, I'm a dog. I drink milk, get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley, time to step up. Now describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup topped with a French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it is quite delightful. However, I ask that you please refrain from eating or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school. Got toast in your ears or something, Clementine? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it and did an extremely good at cooking it, too. I didn't realize we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insist, but don't breathe in too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You would know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to redecide herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last time you heard of me, either. And this class gets much smaller. I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel, the final cook, step up together. 2 chefs? How dare! What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing? And completely blown me away in my 49 dog years of life. I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It is so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. We all get a pass. Everyone gathers around and partakes in the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend into reality, into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. A new menu item is so impressive that even Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on. How could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house! Ow, 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 woo! You know that Sprinkles was a master chef, but a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting their wrongs they did while they were villains. So I guess they're good guys now, with new attire. For a moment you actually believe them. Not another. Haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was a trick to get you all to finally notice me. Aw. Oh, amusing. And now that everyone is together, it's the Spork Monster. He has totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. For here, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Students try to finish what you had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up in talking to Party Monster. Dejected, the student walks off. Maybe one thing didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found love in her cooking, and you know what she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out onto the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? Why, Colonel Sanders. Oh, it's Pop. It's Pop. He arrived late to the party, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you perch atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of education of son, Chancellor of such and such. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electric hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank. I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet from another dimension. What? I actually feel like I knew this whole time. Now that I've learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I've just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't really time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. She do be having a point, though. You are blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she has managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand, kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not just enough to give them a bucket of chicken. This time, it's full of meat. This time, it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. Thank you. Thank you, Colonel Sanders, for reminding us all that this is all one big KFC ad. The end? No, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Clementine, what are you doing, sitting all alone? Oh, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities would you expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, I don't know, a spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking Academy for Learning, just to name a few. It truly is my lucky day. Would you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, your future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I will be ready to take a day off, and I'll be glad to spend it together with you, Clementine. How sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Oh no. Work together? Well, I think this is just something I need to do by myself. But who will help you run the restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running the restaurant is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with the other the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I could enroll at pastry school. Oh, my dear Clementine, I'm sure that you'll find your place eventually, and along the way you'll have me by your side. The end. Yay. Did I just speed run through this entire game just to get the good ending? Let's see. Colonel Sanders? Yes, Clementine? I couldn't help but wonder. Was our final exam team-up purely an act of strategy carried out by two cunning chefs, or was it something more? I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this do-si-do? Colonel extends his hand to you, and you feel a surge of energy jump off from the tip of his fingers. His hand, the hand of a master chef, so dedicated to the craft of fine cookery, so tender yet refined, so milky smooth. Brody's laying right next to me, and he startled me. So milky smooth, the fingers are like fine battered drumsticks turned into flour, soaked in buttermilk and dusted with exotic spices. But they do not reach the tongues, a knife, or even a spork. Tonight they reach out for you. And though our feet may tire of dancing, I believe that this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, will you not only join me on the dance floor, but in the kitchen as my co-chef and partner in both business and in life? You gasp. Could it be? Is he really saying me and you together? Ever since I met you, my dream has changed. It's not enough to simply just open the world's greatest chain of fried chicken restaurants. No, even then, my life would be incomplete without you by my side. So what do you say, partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders. For real end? Wow, that was a life-changing 3 days. Overwhelmed by everything that just happened between you and Colonel Sanders, you step outside for some air. Quiet is dark and quiet. Too quiet. You start to smell something salty, potatoey, gravy. Just then the spork monster appears. Hi, Clementine. You had a pretty sweet dance moves back there. Why, thank you. You weren't too shabby yourself. That moonwalk you did was pretty cool. Oh, you noticed? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Anyways, I had something to ask you. You see, as a live potato-like creature, it is difficult, and I have no place to call home other than people's nightmares. Oh, I had no idea. I was wondering if it might be able to go home with you, permanently. I'll run out and get the paper in the morning and everything. What do you say? Yes, adopt him. He's adorable. No, a dorm room is no place for a sport monster. Let's adopt him. My hero, I will forever be in your debt. The end. Seriously, though, it really is this time. Woo! Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope this tacked-on ending wasn't too jarring for you. This is Katie Ross, signing off. Boop.